What's up, YouTube? 2020 Tantra on Amazon. Info in the description. Also on Instagram. Info in the description. Taylor_Bud5. Let's get right into it. So, psychedelics. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with psychedelics. I'm not saying there's anything right with them. I feel like with anything, you should do it candidly. If it naturally just comes into your life, if that's part of your Tao and it's naturally coming across your interface, and you have a candid moment where you can communicate with that version of you, because that's all it is an extension of you, whether it's cannabis or mushrooms. Those are things that are more in the now, and they just align you with the now and that undomesticatedness that's already there, that's already always ever present. Psychedelics themselves are there to block. They're sensory deprivers. That's what they do. They're sensory deprivation. Like when you go into meditation, you block a sense, you close your eyes, you're basically shutting down so that you can control alt delete in a sense. Like get back to that zero, get back to that nothing, to that stillness, that core, that yoga, that yoke, that nothing that causes all the something, and that's the center of the circle. And that's where psychedelics might spring you to. You might get to Z, but you want to enjoy A to Z, the whole process from A to Z, and then you can maintain that oneness. It's not about taking a chemical or chasing something or anything like that. Like it's not anywhere you have to go. It's not transcendental. Oneness isn't a transcendental thing. Oneness isn't an epic thing. All those things are created from oneness. Oneness is the most normal thing. It's the most supernatural to be in the oneness. It's not something that you have to try to do. It's ever present. It's always there at your disposal. The Tao, your truest identity, infinity is always there at your disposal. So oneness with the psychedelics are, they can bring you to that state where you can realize it. Just like thoughts can bring you to a state of consciousness, and they can bring you to a state of unconsciousness. They're like, signs on a road map, or they are the map, but they aren't the destination. Because destination is where is you. Presence is the destination. So fear is just lack of presence, and psychedelics or going outside of yourself, feeling that there's something that you have to go outside yourself for, is a sense of fear in a sense already, saying that something is already not in me that I have to go outwardly to get. So that's already a sense of boundary or fear there. So not to say there's anything wrong with it. Again, if it's part of the process and it's just part of something that you did and it brought you more into the now, if you continually feel like you need to do it, then you're a repeat offender, then you're a number. Then it obviously didn't do its job. You have to prep the body, prepare. The male and the feminine aspects of you have to be prepared. You have to be balanced in homeostasis, preparing for an experience like that, an experience like that, to deprive yourself of a perspective. Because that's all they do, is show you infinity from a different perspective. That's all you can do. There's no needs in life. But you can, as far as desire goes, you can perceive the oneness and the perfection from different states. You can perceive perfection from different states of imperfection, or whatever you want, different angles, different fragments of the oneness. But it's all perfect. It's just that you're viewing the perfection in its transient form. And then, the psychedelics, again, they can bring you to that state of Brahma, but to reside there, to reside at the Tao is a difference. It's a difference staying at the center of the circle, not this up and down yo-yo effect that comes with you trying to experience something. It's really just a lot of it is laziness integration, or integration laziness, because it's just breath work. Spirit work or spirituality is breath work. Everything is the breath. You are the breath in reality. You're inspiring the body to express itself fully so that it can dissolve itself, so that you can stop identifying with it, so that you can graduate to another level of selflessness, so that you can evolve those that are below you, so those above you can evolve you, so that you can keep going, so the oneness is realized more and more. Psychedelics can show you a snippet of that whole process, but you want to reside in that place and stay at the center of the circle. You don't want to microdose or things like that. You don't want to stay in that place where you're constantly in need, because there is no needs. Every chemical that you take in just influences the chemicals that's already in you. The presence that's already there is being influenced. So ultimately, it's still you're the drug still, even outwardly, however you want to look at it. So you're going to constantly chase. if you just lazy and you don't want to do the breath work. There's no way around it. You have to do the breath work to fully integrate the Brahma into the physical, or the God into the devil. You have to full integration is the breath work. There's no way around it. That's your transferry. And these things are transferries, these chemicals and these whether they're organic or inorganic, whatever, because they are ferries to for trance. They take you from more back to yourself, or away from yourself, however you want to look at it, whatever happens. So they're a trance ferry, and everybody's on a different frequency of trance based on their breath pattern. The breath pattern determines your frequency, how frequently you breathe, and the way you breathe. So it's if it's a medicine, you do it once. If it's drugs, you continually need it. So that's how I feel about psychedelics, or anything in general, because everything is kind of a drug. So 2020 Tantra on Amazon, info in the description.